Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emmanuel Akonuche. Okay, in today's Love Bible series, I'll be brief. We're gonna discuss on the topic: why is it important to take responsibilities in a relationship? Whose responsibility is it to keep and sustain a relationship? Before you go further, I just want to thank you all for having subscribed to my channel. For the past few weeks now, we just came here newly, and the rate we have been growing. I still want to encourage us to always share, like, and comment on our content so we can be getting more subscribers. Thank you, guys. Okay, we'll be discussing about whose responsibility it is to why is it important rather to take responsibility in our relationship. There are these mistakes that people often do most times. You see people in a relationship or even in marriage, they will be like, okay, like I was talking with one of my younger one earlier today. He was like, he just made mention of something like, if it is the will of God, maybe that I marry this person, it will surely come to pass. If it is the will of God that this happen, it will surely come to pass. And I want to tell us something, okay, to my listeners. You see, relationship is like is like an economy of a nation. Okay, God in heaven have finished His creation. You understand? So, if any country, any country's economy is booming, it is not the art of God. It is not in any way the art of God. Okay. If the other country's economy is not booming, like they are having some economic difficulties and all that, it is not also the art of God. you know Nobody should bring God to judgment in situations like that. So likewise, a relationship. So when you are having a faulty relationship, most times you don't have to blame God. You don't have to bring God into the play, because there are certain responsibilities you ordinarily should have taken. There are certain things you should have done to help sustain and keep your relationship going, not necessarily God. Okay, for instance, okay, I'm a woman, I'm a man, you are my partner. Okay, you are my partner. Okay, I don't like you keeping late nights, but every day you do come back in the night. Even when you don't have anything doing outside, you always try to stay back and come back in the night. Okay, I will complain, see babe, man, see, I don't like this. What if you get hot? I don't like this, please be coming back home early. Okay, maybe sometimes you might offer to maybe to go and drop her or to bring her back. They will decline. You understand? They keep on doing that same thing, repeating that mistakes of coming back late and all that. Maybe at a point, you, as the other partner, you just give up on complaining about the issue. Maybe probably one day they run into problem. Okay, they run into problem. Now, instead of you to show sympathy and pity on them, maybe you start to blame them. You try to blame them. You try to remind them. You see, I've been telling you to be coming back early. Have you seen what it have cost now? Stuff like that. Now they will pick an offense. Okay, because to them you are supposed to show sympathy, not to not to like blame them. But all this while you've been trying to let them know the risk in coming late, in keeping late night. They have not been listening to you. Sometimes they will even be telling you, I am an adult, I can take care of myself, stuff like that. But now something bad has happened. They are not trying to let you, like they are not trying to push everything to you. So these are things we talk about when you talk about responsibilities. You as a partner in a relationship, you should try as much as you can to know the things that were expected from you, the things you yourself can do to help in the growth of your relationship. Like I also said, it's not always the responsibility of a particular person to sustain a relationship. Okay, not when you've had some previous relationships, some minor errors that were constantly done were part and parcel of what led to your breakup in your former relationships. You enter a new one. You fail to reflect back on your previous relationships to know what is that, how exactly did I get it wrong previously, so that you can try your best to correct them. You fail to do stuff them like that, okay? You are now hoping on God to come down from heaven and do miracle so that your relationship can work. It doesn't work that way. Even God in heaven, God has so many works He's doing. God is a very busy person. I think that we have about 7 continents in the world filled by humans, right? Eh. So God has some other issue He should be thinking about. He is thinking about currently now, not about your relationship or how to sustain it for you. God have created you. He created you. He have finished His creation on you. He gave you brain. He gave you the what is it called? The ability to think, thoughtfulness. Think about this. Plan this. So not when you make mistakes, you start calling God. I used to hear some of my people, they will be telling you, yeah, if it is the will of God that I will marry this man, I will marry him. If it is the will of God that I will marry this woman, I will marry her. Yeah, if it is the will of God, right? What about education? Why not stay in your house and say, if it is the will of God that I will go to school, I will go to school. You will not write any entrance exam. You will not pay any fee. You just say, I will go to school if it is the will of God. Then God will from heaven or wherever come back to your house, pull you out from your house, and then send you to school without you writing any exam, without you participating in any studies and all that. So you see, so even when you think you can wait on God, yes, maybe depending on your faith, I don't know, depending on what you believe, yeah, you can pray to your God to help you, to give you strength to do this and to do that. But at a point too, it is not solely responsibility of God to sustain your relationship or your marriage. This is your responsibility to sustain it. So what are the things you need to do? What are those things that you must not forget to do so that your relationship can work? So that you will not go out tomorrow, you see partners maybe at the beach, maybe you see the way they express love to each other. You didn't know the effort they have put in to that level they are right now. You start to envy them. You start to like try to imitate them. How I wish I am this person. How I wish. But you didn't know that those people have put in on enough. They have put in away most of their pleasure to make sure they arrived at the stage of that relationship today. Some of us will be in a relationship. You know, we'll be thinking that relationship is so bad that we can't work on it. It's so bad that nothing is working. Okay, but you wouldn't let to work on that. You will be thinking that another person's own is better. Okay, you'll be thinking that this girl, this woman you are dating, that she's the cause of everything not moving. You'll be thinking that this man you are dating is the cause of everything is not moving. You'll be thinking that there is another good person out there, another Mr. Right or Mrs. Right out there that will make everything perfect for both of you. Okay, you forget that even when that Mr. Right comes or that Mrs. Right comes, if you keep on frustrating his effort, if you keep on frustrating their efforts, making everything they do like not to achieve any goal at all, it will not still work. It will still work. It's practical. It's not a rocket science. A working relationship is not spiritual. It's not a rocket science. It is practical. You have to practice it. You have to put your effort, work on yourselves as individuals. You are two different people coming together. Okay, you have your bad characters, you have your flaws, they have their flaws. You come together, work on your flaws, and see your relationship working. God cannot come down from heaven, from moon, from anywhere and start working on you as a person. It is not possible. You see a married woman, after giving birth to one child, she start dressing as if she's 80 years. Your man will keep on telling you, hell babe, you don't dress like this. This your dressing is not okay. Dress well. This was not you that I got married to. But inside their mind, they have now arrived. They are married. Nothing can take them away from their marriages again. You keep on frustrating this man, frustrating this man, frustrating these people. One day this man will go outside. He might meet a younger girl who might catch his fancy. Okay? he started talking with her. Before you know it, you will start losing your marriage and your man to one side chick as they are on the main road. Simply because of what? You fail to take responsibility of things you should do. You fail to dress well for your husband. Come on. That you gave birth to a child is not a criteria to start looking like an ancient of days or to start looking like a 100-year-old woman. In your relationship, in your marriages, even if you have given birth to 4, 5, also try to dress well, wear nice perfume, do your hair when necessary, arrange yourself for your husband so that you will keep on he will keep on be looking salesy for him. Okay, so these are responsibilities you should take. There are a lot of works that need to be done to sustain a relationship. Love, Love, love is not enough to keep a relationship. There are times that love will become so that love can no longer sustain a relationship. What does now is your physicality, your sense of humor, the respect you have for your relationship, the love you've kept there, the trust you've built on the relationship will be what will sustain the relationship, no longer love. Love does not sustain a relationship. Love does not sustain a relationship. Okay, what sustains a relationship is the physical things, those emotional things you attach to it. How trustworthy are you? How faithful are you? At a point, love will no longer be enough to sustain your home. Then how do you plan to sustain it in situations like that? Okay, so there are certain things all of us need to do if we must embark on this journey called relationship. Okay, there is what we call act on situations, don't react. Okay, act on situations, don't react. Okay, you are this type that normally you hardly take corrections, whether as a man or as a woman. You hardly take corrections. Maybe one day this your inability to take correction to lead to one other friend, you will be the first to react to the action these people have taken without looking at the fundamental cause of that problem. Why did the people do like this? What did they do like this? Okay, the truth is this: we are human beings, and it is also good that we become practical in everything we are doing. Let's forget about love theories and focus on practices of them. The practicability of it. Let us focus on it now. No man, no sane man with a whole sense of humor will raise his hand and beat a woman. No man with his right senses will raise his hand and beat his woman. No threat-thinking man can do that. No man can just wake up now and start being violent on a woman. First of all, knowing fully well that she is a woman, she doesn't have strength like you do. So there are limits to the way the limit to her physical strength compared to you as a man. So no man will wake up, and start beating you, start molesting you. Okay? There are things you can do at a time. Human beings are human beings. They can react. It's like a man is in his house. He came back to the house, to comfort of his house, to receive comfort. Okay? You bring up topics that are not necessary at that point. This man will tell you, hey woman, please let's not talk about this now. Okay, I promise you, we're gonna talk about this later. Let's talk about this later. Okay? You keep on talking, bringing up this topic, okay, this man say, okay, fine, we'll talk about it, but please give me time. Let me go and call. You say, no, you're not going anywhere. We will talk about it here, right now and now. Wow. At a point, you get this man infuriated. This man becomes angry. Allow him to go now. Okay? Allow him to go out. Later you guys can talk about it. You refuse. Maybe while he's trying to run away from this situation, you block his road. He might be tempted to push you out from the road, to go out, to avoid other drama that may happen at that time, because when you have seen the redness in your eye that you can't even listen to him, because maybe red instead you've been convinced already from whatever thing you brought up that particular moment. So he might trying to avoid those dramas. You want to leave the house and come back later so you guys can talk about it. Maybe that time you must have been okay with your temper and all that, you refuse. Maybe him not trying to go away from the house, he pushed you down. You said, oh, you beat me, you pushed me down. You started crying, you pushed me down. Knowing full well I'm a woman, why did you do this to me? Why did you do that to me? You started using it against him. But it was the same you whom he begged, please babe, I will talk about this matter. Let me go and come. You refuse. But now you've started to blame him, because to you, you think he intentionally beat you. Like I said today, no man will intentionally beat a woman that he loves. No man can do that. A man can intentionally cheat on you, but you see to raise his hand and beat you. No, I don't think there is any right thinking man that can intentionally do that. One thing leads to one thing. So those things that can lead to those things, what are those things? You take responsibility of them and avoid them. There are so many issues we are having in our homes and in our relationship today that can ordinarily be avoided if you agree. We can ordinarily avoid them. We can ordinarily avoid them from coming to from coming to limelight. But most times we choose to neglect them, and when it happens, we start blaming everybody. We start shifting blames from ourselves to other people. How important is it to take a responsibility in your relationship? What is even a responsibility? What is even a responsibility? Practically things you should be doing on your own side. You know, those things you think you're supposed to do from your own angle as a man or as a woman. As a man, you know very well that you when you prophesize and propose love to a woman and she agreed, you know, you should know that this woman, she have sold her soul to you. You shouldn't, okay, be doing things that will making her that will make her to be having some kind of second thought. Had I known, you promise a woman you will love her, you gonna love her, you gonna be with her, okay, you are not gonna cheat on her, you gonna be providing the necessary things you should be providing as a man. She agreed. When she agreed to become your woman, to marry you or whatever, you turn to tiger, neglecting all the previous promises you made to her. Why? These are the responsibilities that you should ordinarily keep, but you start neglecting them. Now when she complain, you get infuriated. You will now dwell on maybe why she was trying to complain, she insulted you. You will now leave the fundamental cause of the insult and now dwell on the insult itself. What did you do? What got her angry? What got them angry? What led to their reaction? Instead of you to act on the problem, you start acting on you start reacting on the outcome of the problem you created. You understand? So there are certain things we should know as people. God does not have time for your relationship. How it happened is not God's business. You can only pray to God to help you guys to love yourself, stuff like that. But the way you behave in your relationship is not the business of God. God doesn't have business for all those things. You know you're supposed to provide food. You're supposed to give your family food by 8 in the night or by 7 in the night, as the case may be. You waited till 11. By that time, your husband must have gone to bed to serve him food. When he said he's no longer hungry, he want to sleep, it's past time for dinner, tomorrow I eat, you will not say, oh, after I wasted my time, exhausted my energy to prepare food for you and your children, you don't want to eat. Was that the right time to give him food? Was that the right time to prepare food for the family? What have you been doing since? Why haven't you prepared the food since? Now instead of you now to react, to act on the fundamental cause of him not eating food, you started acting on the issue of him not eating food. What led to him not eating the food? You don't even want to address that too. We are not doing enough as people in a relationship. We are not doing enough. You can't make people to become vulnerable to violence, vulnerable to domestic crisis, only to use it to judge them. You are a man, you are a woman, okay? You place this kind of vulnerability in their lives. You make them become stoic to situations, only to use it against them. Come on, I don't like this. I've told you I don't like this. Stop doing this particular thing. Generally, it is not acceptable in any man's relationship, no matter how flawed they are. This particular thing is not acceptable in the relationship. So it's not acceptable in my own too. By standard of a relationship, by standard of what a relationship should be. Okay? These things are not acceptable. But you keep on doing them. When those people react, you start, rubbing it on their faces every day. Anytime you get savage, you will remind them of that. You did this that day, you did, but why did he do that? You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about the fundamental cause of what he did. You only dwell on the outcome of what he have done. Everybody, whether you are a man or a woman, you have a responsibility to take in your relationship. The way you behave is your responsibility. The way she behave is her responsibility. The way they behave is their responsibility. They cannot what is it called? They can't, force it on another person. It is their responsibility to behave right and wrong. Whether they behave negatively towards you, whether they behave positively towards you, that is their sole responsibility. And the way you behave has all it tells to break a home or to make a home. Listen, let me tell you guys. If you must keep a sustainable relationship, you must try your possible best. You must try everything within your power to reduce and put a limitation on the things you believe on social media. So many people are living fake life on social media. You don't have to making some ill comparisons about your relationship with other people's relationship. You don't have to be doing that. So many people are having a toxic relationship at home. They'll be coming outside to claim all is well. And you'll be there doing as if you're not trying in your own relationship. There is no perfect relationship anywhere in the world. You can never see a perfect relationship anywhere in the world. It is non-existent. It have never existed before in anywhere in the world. In relationship, somebody must take a greater responsibility. You must have tolerance in you. You must have this compromising spirit. You must compromise. Sometimes you give away your pleasure. You give away your joy to make things work. If you are a woman, you must be a woman in a relationship. Know things you have to do and things you are not meant to do. If you are a man, you will be a man in a relationship. Be that man you are meant to be in a relationship. Don't at a point try to behave like a woman. There are things that a man shouldn't do in a relationship. There are so many of them. A woman, you don't try just come as a woman too. There are certain things you need to do, and the ones you don't need to do as a partner generally. You don't have to intentionally push your partner to that point where they will react for you to judge them. Nobody, no human being is perfect. No human being is perfect. There is, no matter how good a man is, no matter how good a woman is, no matter how perfect those people are to you, there is what we make, that is what you can do that can make that perfect man to become imperfect. It's not spiritual. It is a natural something. It is natural phenomenon. There are things you can do that will make that perfect man to automatically become imperfect human being. You don't push people so strong, trying to know how much they love you, trying to know how much they care for you. They are not gods. They are not immortal. They are mortals. So they can react at a point. But the most important thing is this. When you are angry, when your partner provokes you to anger, you react. Don't always forget to apologize. Apology is very, very important in whatever thing you do. When you get angry, when you react, over an issue the way you are not supposed to react ordinarily as a human being. Always try to apologize. Apologize. Apology is a very architectural tool in marriage and relationship sustainability. But most people do not know this. If as a partner, if in a relationship, your partner maybe did one or two bad things, they did something that is wrong, you as their partner, you have to sit down. You try to analyze. You ask yourself questions. Why did they do this? Why did they do this? You know, you will now find out the reason why they did it. You will now know the role you played in what they did. You share the responsibility from the outcome of their actions. You don't leave it only on them. Okay? You don't leave it only on them. You had an agreement with your partner to do this thing this way. You faulted the agreement. They become vulnerable to your action. They reacted in a wrong way. Don't forget that you are part of that problem too. You caused their reaction. You lead them to react that way. You take responsibility from the outcome of what they did. You don't push it solely on them. Okay? If you must sustain your relationship, if you must see your relationship growing, you must learn to take responsibility of your actions. Don't blame anybody when something goes wrong. Try to know if you are part of that problem, if you acted, if there were any way what is it called, that you aided in that their this thing, in that their wrongdoings. You try and take responsibility from their own side, and then leave them to take responsibility from their own side too. Okay? You must be willing to forgive and forget. No, accepting misplaced blame. Accepting misplaced blame. Yes, I'm sorry I did this, but see, I've warned you. I've always advised you against this. I don't like this thing you always do. Okay? Did I ask you for something so difficult? Babe, I don't like this. Don't always bring these things up. I don't like them. You should also do it this way. You could have also done it this way. It would have been better this way. Had even you have done it this way, you did it this way, it wouldn't have caused this. You know, you advise them, you tell them this, they tell them that, they will understand you. Okay? Don't always, like I've been saying, don't always make your relationship to be vulnerable to attack, vulnerable to crisis. A good man can become toxic from the way you treat them. That saint, that perfect man can automatically become imperfect. How you will know how loving your partner is this. In the face of challenges, tribulations, and crisis, how was he able to conquer? How was he able to handle the situation, the pressure that came with the whole issues? You don't judge a relationship when everything is going well. Your partner have money, they have money. Anytime you are in any financial crisis, they do help you to take care of them. There have not been any time in your relationship that you people had a financial problem. How was he able to address, how was he able to manage the situation then? These are the things that makes home. This thing you did to your man, this thing you did to your woman, he reacted this way. That other saint out there, have you found out if such similar thing have been done to them, they did not react? You ask yourself questions like this. This saint, this other person that looks like a perfect person, that looks like sent from heaven, whom you think is better than your partner. This thing you did to your partner, they reacted this way. Have you tried to find out if when it is done to this other perfect man, if he will not react more than the way these people reacted? Your friend's husband, he behaved this way, he always appear nice, he appear cute, this and that, stuff like that. Have you tried to find out if the pressure, if the emotional pressure you are giving to your own partner that make him to always react in a way that is not good, if this your friend is also giving her own man that emotional pressure too, if this your own guy, your man is giving his woman those emotional pressure you are giving to your woman too that makes her to always react. Have you tried to, have you tried to ask yourself these questions? Because you will not stay in your own relationship and try to dictate what happens in another person's relationship. Those people you are seeing out there too as saints may not really be whom you think they are when they face similar situation that you have faced and you conquered. We must start taking responsibilities in our relationships. These are the only way we can sustain our relationship. These are the only way we can sustain the tempo of marriages and relationships. Relationship is a difficult journey. Don't allow anybody to advise you otherwise. Relationship is a very difficult journey. Okay, so from today, I think after listening to this, I think you go back to your relationship, fall back to your relationship with your man and your woman, and try to evaluate things you've been doing. How have you been pushing your partners to react in a way that is not good? What is that singular thing that you have been doing to them that you think that are not good to be done to anybody? Which you too know that if they are being done to you too, that you will also react. What are those things? You try to evaluate them, you try to think about them, you try to have a rethink about them and see if the other person will also change. Okay? You cannot intentionally be starving somebody of food. You cannot be starving your partner of food at home and you want him or her not to be eating outside. You don't let them to be eating outside in a restaurant. You don't let them, but you starve them food at home. How do you want them to survive? Then we go outside and eat food. Okay? So you cannot intentionally be making them to be vulnerable to some issues and you expect them not to react. Okay?